Right, it's a Thursday morning and it is the first frost of the season, for me anyway. It is, I don't know, about 9:30 in the morning, and it is probably about 1 degree, so it's pretty cool. We got down to about -1, I believe, and tonight and tomorrow night it's going to possibly be -2, so it's pretty cold. Daytime temperatures are due to go up to about 5 or 6, but maybe with the wind chill feeling like 0. The sun is out, so the frost will disperse when the sun hits it, but it's a good time to have a look around the garden and see where your little frost pockets are, where the cold areas are, where the slightly microclimate, slightly warmer temperatures may be. So we've got a little shelter there with some small palms, and obviously they're untouched by the frost. I mean, the way the frost works obviously is it just drops straight down, you know. Warm temperature, warmth rises, cold drops, and it really does just go in a straight line. So if you've got an overhang on your house or somewhere sheltered, you know, you have to have a frost just a few inches outside that sheltered area, and then inside the frost shouldn't hit it. So you can use natural, let's have a look down here and give you an example. Natural canopy from, in this instance, we've got the large cord lines here. So obviously in the open areas you can see the frost on the grass and on certain plants, but once we get underneath the canopy, this tree fern for instance is not getting the frost due to the overhead canopy. Also we've got some Chamaerops humilis and a Mahonia softcrest, which is untouched by the frost due to that natural canopy. Let's have a look around this side so we can see in this open area here the pink china is drastically flopped down with that frost hitting it. This so happens this is the first place that gets the sun, so we can see already where the sun's hitting. It's the first place to defrost, if you like, or lose that frost from the grass. We've got the big Canariensis here, obviously showing signs of the cold stressing the leaves, with the cells sort of retracting and giving you that sort of mottled appearance. And you see it on the Canariensis, and we see it also on the Robusta here. Alright, well, it's gonna pick up. So with the Washingtonia Robusta, you'll find the leaves that are on a flat plane will get the worst of it. We've actually had a little bit of sleet as well, I think, overnight. It's not snow, but we can see the leaves that are hitting the frost as it drops down on this flat plane are a lot worse for wear than the leaves that are upright, where the frost is going to drop and sort of drop straight past the leaves, as it were. So the bananas will really over the next couple of days brown off, I'd imagine, to sort of totally give up, along with this cannon, which is already showing signs of cold damage. So I did yesterday, luckily before the frost, yesterday morning I went round and protected any last minute plants that I wanted to, so that just involved some small cloches and the colocaceae I've left in the ground, and we've got the Musella lesicarpa, probably saying it wrong. That is the lotus banana, so I wrapped that up. So what I've done is I've got a couple of posts, or 3 posts, a bit of an old tubing actually from a cheap greenhouse, and then I wrapped the couple of good leaves of the banana with frost cloth and then put a plastic bag over it, so that's pegged in at the ground level, and the bag's tied up at the top. So we'll see what happens with that one. It's tucked up anyway. And the palm grass, which is not supposed to be hardy, I've just wrapped in frost cloth there again, so I've sort of pegged it in at the bottom so it doesn't blow away, then tied it around a few times there. So yeah, pretty nippy. And I'm sure we'll see these leaves there brown and droop down and drop off in no time. But the main thing is, well, so we had a look at the robustas and the canariensis palms that's showing that sign of the cells in the leaves retracting in that sort of pattern. So let's have a look at some of the smaller palms. We can definitely see it in this princeps, and to an extent on the Brahea, not Brahea, sorry, it's Brahea edulis. Not as bad as some of the other palms, and this is sort of in the middle of the garden, so it's fully exposed, and we've got a small bootia here, and there's really no sign of any sort of major cell movement on them. And again with the Chamaerops cerifera, so the blue form, leaves look normal apart from the slight frost on them. There's no colour change in the leaves on them, so that's quite interesting. Whereas we've got small Trachycarpus here, and we can clearly see the leaves have got some changes there. So this is nothing to worry about. It's a natural thing that will happen. It's just a natural defence. Once you get that bounce back in temperature and that sort of all thaws out properly, that'll just go back to normal. That's nothing to worry about as such. So the shelters are doing what they're supposed to do. I did modify this one because originally I had it all sort of boxed in with clear, flexible clear plastic, and what I found is that it's too much of a wind sail and that was rocking about too much, more movement than I like, so I just literally just put a couple of old corrugated clear plastic bits on there to give it a little bit of shelter from the wind but still let the wind through. And yeah, we're on the outside, we can see the mulch top layer is actually sort of pretty much sort of stuck together and frozen, but when we go inside, the shelter's perfectly frost free. So that's the whole point of putting these shelters up, because I've got some new palms this year and I don't want to lose them due to a couple of hard frosts, so that is definitely going to help in that situation. So let's have a look at the Let's have a look at the other one, the other Boutier. So again, on the outside of the frame, frosted, and we can see right on the edge, no frost. So again, inside we're totally frost free, leaves looking perfectly good. So yeah, just a little bit of shelter can go a long way can make the difference between a plant or a palm surviving the winter and not surviving the winter. Just keeping the crown, the growing point, frost free, that can be the difference. And when you've got a biggish palm or an expensive plant, then you don't want to lose it in the first year just due to a couple of nights of abnormally cold conditions. I mean, I'm not saying -1 or -2 is abnormal cold for where I'm in the UK, but it is this time of year. We normally get it in sort of late January, February. We don't normally get hard frost this time of year. So yes, the repeated hard frost that's going to do the damage. The odd 1 or 2 nights is not going to make too much difference. So we are due to sort of bounce back a bit next week, I believe. But yeah, this Phoenix Canariensis has been through a lot worse. And survived. You can see actually the cannas underneath the canary palm is really still looking quite nice at the minute. These are just like the dwarf cannas, but that they tend to hold on, again being underneath that canopy of the palm, and they do tend to get the most light throughout the day as well, sun, and that definitely helps. Whereas if you've got a place where this time of year obviously the sun's so low, you get a lot of places that don't even get any sort of direct sun, and they're the ones that'll suffer. They don't get that warmth from the sun, even though it's not exactly warm in winter, but you know, you do get that slight warming from the sun this time of year. You can feel it when it's out. Right, so I think that's about gonna cover it. So we've got a small tree fern here. We can see that has got a bit of frost on the leaves. I haven't actually protected any tree ferns yet. I don't tend to protect them at all unless we're going to get a week or 2 of really low temperatures, and I'm talking maybe -3 and under. Then I will stick some bit of fleece or something in the top. But yeah, my concern with, just changing the subject a little bit, with the polytunnel, where I've got it as in being sunken down. I thought this might be a bit of a, you know, being that cold air sort of sinks, that might be an issue with keeping or getting the worst of the cold as it sort of drops down, because this is sort of a good 2.5 foot underneath ground level. So we can see on the edges of the pond, I say pond, it's not a pond anymore, but what was the pond is, you know, quite nicely frosted. But actually down inside, can't see any frost at all in there. So that's something I'm going to be watching, because that's didn't expect that really. I expect that to be quite cool down there, but anyway, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, just look at the first frost really, and I hope wherever you are it's not too bad. I know a lot of places more inland might have got cooler temperatures, but I think no one's going to escape it. Everyone's going to get something, unless you're really lucky. Right, thanks for watching, we'll catch you in the next one.